I'm Brian, and this is Game Story Basics. Alright, let's talk about character intros, part 1. Games are a visual, auditory, and interactive medium. That means that you've got a lot of channels on which to speak to the player. And it means that when you're introducing a character, you have to think holistically. You have to think in terms of all those channels, not just about the dialogue that you're going to write. Games are also a collaborative medium, meaning that you can't just write up a document about your great vision for how we introduce this character. You're going to have to actually go talk to people, artists, animators, designers, audio designers, a bunch of other people, and get them excited about your vision or get excited about their vision. That's how collaboration works. But once you've started talking to people and thinking holistically about the character, consider the animation. How does the character move? How do they walk? How do they lean against a wall? Think about accessories. What kind of things does the character carry with them wherever they go? Now, this can all seem pretty superficial, right? We often talk about characters in terms of coming up with the core of who they are and building from the inside to the outside. And now we're looking at the character just from the outside. But of course, this is an introduction. So this is the character's first impression. And like your mama always told you, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So you've got to think of from the outside. And if you get the look, sound, and everything else right, honestly, you're 95% of the way there. By the time the character talks and says the first line of dialogue that you've written, players have already formed a really strong impression of them. So in a way, that can feel disempowering, but if you think about that correctly and you harness it, it's actually really empowering. One weird trick. When you're introducing a character, do not try to play against type. A lot of writers get really excited about playing against type. They say, my character is a museum cat burglar during the night, but during the day, she's a nun. If you try to tell us all that when you first introduce the character, you haven't played against type. You've just given us a new type, right? Introduce your museum cat burglar. Let us know that about her for a while, and then reveal later that she's a nun. That's way more exciting. And it's just cleaner, and it gives us a kind of the second punch in the 1-2 punch. So that's it for part 1, and we'll talk about introducing characters part 2 in a little bit. That's all for now. I'll see you on the next one.